Hey, I'm a transgender woman. Hold on a second. I love this crap. I should know better, but I drink it. Diet Coke. And guess what? All these years now, I have not yet let Donald Trump ruin my favorite beverage for me. Even though he's ruined so many other things for all of us. I still like my Diet Coke. Because I'm a Diet Coke girl on a Diet Coke diet. Anyway, that's not really what I want to talk about. I just had another adventure out in public with the bus. All right, this time I was transferring buses at the terminal. Okay, where all the buses come and go from, kind of like an airport for poor people on the ground. Anyway, so I'm at the bus terminal and it's really hot and sweaty. I mean, oh my God, it's so hot in Vegas, right? You guys see me sweating in every other video when I'm outside for a good reason. It's hot out here. And I'm standing in the brutal sun and just on the edge of where that demarcation line between hellish fry an egg on the sidewalk heat and relatively nice shade and a place to sit down was a very nice man named Robert, who I just met. I would guess Robert is about 65 years old. I am 55. He's a man of color. It's amazing how so many of my favorite people do tend to fit that description. Yeah. So anyway, Robert's like, would you care to sit down, ma'am? And I was like, you know what? Yeah, because it was shade there. I said, thank you, sir. And he moved his bag, and I sat down. We're sitting there shoulder to shoulder on a hard metal bench at the bus terminal waiting for another bus to get onto. Two strangers out in public. Anyway, so I pulled out my phone, and I'm scrolling, I'm uploading videos. I'm looking at my YouTube. And this has happened several times now. When people notice me on my own phone screen in public, they get curious. I don't know why. It's not like you got to be super special just to go on YouTube and make a freaking video, but whatever. It does seem to get people's attention. All right, far out, no problem. So I'm sitting there next to my new friend and scrolling on my phone, and he's like, he looks over and he goes, "Is that you?" And I wasn't offended or upset or nothing like with that mean drunk white guy on the bus on that other video you saw. That guy was a whole different story looking at my phone. Different situation. This man was nice. Because we're sitting close. We're like this, We're under the little narrow bus shelter overhang thing and, yeah. We're just sharing that little bit of public space. And he was being a gentleman and a good human being. And I liked him. I could just tell he's a decent guy. I felt safe with him. So yeah, he looks over at my phone and he's like, "Is that you?" And I said, yeah, it sure is actually. And he goes, "Wow." And he started asking questions like, "How long you been doing YouTube? How many videos you got? What do you make videos about?" And I said, "Well, why don't you find out for yourself?" And he's like, "Okay, good point, And I said, you like YouTube?" He's like, "Yeah." Anyway, so yeah, we did the thing, And I started playing. He wanted to see one of my videos, so I just started playing. The most recent one at that point earlier today was the Diet Coke one, where you hear some of my friends in the background laughing their ass off. Yeah, anyway, so, yeah. And he's like looking at my YouTube, he's watching the video and he's laughing and he's like, "Why'd you say trans?" And he goes, "You're trans?" "Yeah, actually I am. I was born a boy." And he goes, "I had no idea. I never would have guessed." And you haters can go fuck yourselves right now, because guess what? That happens to me a lot. Where a strange man will be face to face with me and have no idea that I am the thing that terrifies you so much. It makes you so hysterically afraid. Oh no, the trans are in public again. You think I'm overreacting? Get a load of this shit. Sorry, I gotta learn to be a better storyteller and be more focused. But so my new friend and I are sitting there on the bench, shoulder to shoulder, enjoying my YouTube video. He thinks it's funny, he reacted all the right ways, so I guess that's a good video. Except he was puzzled by the trans thing, you know, and then we talked about that. He wasn't that interested in it. He was just kind of like, oh, I didn't know you were that. Okay, cool. And he just treated me like a lady. I don't know what he's going to think when he starts getting deeper into my videos. He's probably home by now watching them. I would hope. But I don't think he's going to be a jerk. He was nice. He just was nice. Then his granddaughter showed up. He was out and about with his granddaughter. And you know how families are mixed up nowadays. My new friend Robert was, I would describe as a lighter skin person of color. I'm not even sure if you would call him black or Latino, or he could have been from some other part of the world, but he was definitely not this. Right on. Far out. Not a thing wrong with that. But Robert's white granddaughter, who is 25 years old, a 25-year-old white woman, Super Karen, steps up on me and my new friend Robert, and she's like, is everything okay? Grandpa, is everything okay? Are you okay? And I was very confused. I was like, and then I kind of opened myself up a little bit to take a peek into her container. I took a peek. I looked into her heart and I looked into her mind, but I didn't really have to. Because this one was easy for anyone to read externally. So Super Karen was worried that I was in some way harming her grandfather. Let that sink in. You're a 25-year-old white woman, and you're out in public with your grandfather, and you see him laughing and talking and having a nice conversation sitting on a bench next to a trans. So you feel the need to come over and swoop down and say, Grandpa, are you okay? Is everything all right? Are you safe? Blink twice if the trans is trying to hurt you. Yeah, walk a mile in my shoes, people. This is what I deal with every day. So Karen's like, Grandpa, you okay? And then, guess what Robert said? He said, it's cool. This is Tiffany. We just met. Hey, and she's on YouTube. And then Karen cut off Grandpa. And she was all riled up. You can tell she was in self-righteous, riled up mode. Entitled super mega bitch Karen mode. And this otherwise attractive young woman, white woman, after she established that Grandpa was in fact safe from the trans, clearly she had seen my videos. She knew who I was. People are recognizing me now every time it's getting more and more. So yeah, she clearly knew who I was. And she wanted to make sure I wasn't hurting her grandpa in some way. So as if you need more confirmation, at that point, Grandpa tries to introduce me, and then she cuts it off. She's not interested. And you know what she said after Robert tried to say, this is my new friend Tiffany, Karen, I'm calling her Karen, I don't know her name. She cut off him. She shut him up. She rudely cut off his speech where he was introducing me to her. She cut him off, the man she's so concerned about protecting from me. And then she looks right at me and she goes, what are you doing out here? The same way she probably says to a black man who's walking his dog down the sidewalk, what are you doing here? Or anyone else minding their own business in the park or the fucking mall or anywhere else. You know how Karens are. Well, this was super mega anti-trans Karen in full-on righteous mode to protect her grandfather from me. So while he's trying to introduce me to her, she cuts him off and she yells at me, what are you doing out here? And I took a deep breath and smiled. I looked at my new friend and I glanced around. There's people standing around because I'm starting to draw crowds. Which is fine, right on. That's why I'm doing this. And this sucks, but she yelled at me. She wanted to know what I was doing. And my answer, calm, cool, collected, and confident. I looked her right in the eye and I said, I'm just out here trying to love people, be a truth teller, and stand up for my basic human rights. Just like that. I didn't yell or anything. She couldn't wait to blast off with her answer. Before I even finished saying the word rights, you know what she said? Well, I've got my rights too! I've got my rights too! That's what she said. Whoa. Yeah. Step back, Jack. What the fuck? Yeah. Walk a mile in my shoes. She has her rights too. Of course she does, and I agreed with her. And I'm proud of myself that I kept myself calm, cool, collected, and confident. Because after she simmered down for a moment, and I'm just kind of looking at her like, wow. I said, you do have your rights. They are important. I care about them. I care about your rights. I care about everyone's rights, and I'm just out here trying to get people to care about my rights too. And I said, so by the way, my name is Tiffany. Nice to meet you. And I put my hand out. And you know what she did? Or what I said, my name's Tiffany. I said with a smile, what is your name? And she said, I don't feel comfortable with that. Which means with you. And she spun on her heel and marched away. All the way to the back of the bus. And then when me and my new friend get on the bus to pull, he went his way probably to find out what's up her ass. And then I went up top where I like to ride, and that's it. Now I'm home making the video, but fuck. You can't always tell who the bad guys are, how they're going to react to you when you're trans and you're out in public. I would like to assume that somebody who looked like Super Karen would be someone on my side, but just because she's young. But no, I'm realizing that is not the case. Robert's on my side. You know why? Because he liked me before he even realized I was trans. And then when he found out, he was like, oh, wow, all right, that's cool. Right on, man. Right fucking on. Why can't all 65-year-old American men be like Robert? Men of any color. My God. You guys, I'm not kidding. If you're not aware of what the hate I get as a trans person, look at the comments on any of my videos. You can find tens of thousands of people telling me Agenda 2025 horseshit. Children and women need to be protected from me because apparently I'm a threat to women and children. Even the sight of me is enough. I had a man said he was going to unalive me if he ever saw me in public, and he would do it to protect his daughter from the sight of me. I've got it on video. You guys have seen other people tell me to my face. Good Christians have told me to my face they would unalive me if they knew I was in the same bathroom with their daughter or even themselves. I had a woman tell me, a Christian woman tell me. It's on one of my videos. You can find it. This is what it's like to be a trans person in Trump's America in 2026. It's not a lot of fun. It's a very rocky road. I envy people, normal, ordinary, regular old American people. Because, it's kind of assholish, but there's a line in, I'm a big Star Trek fan, I'm a Trekkie. And, which is one reason I hate Charlie Kirk, because he sure as shit ain't no Captain James T. Kirk, I'll tell you that right now. Fuck him. Anyway. But yeah, There's a Star Trek movie. I can't remember which one. I want to say Generations, where a villain tells Geordi, one of my favorite characters. I love Geordi. On the Next Generation, he's the engineer on the Starship Enterprise, the guy with the shades because he doesn't have sight. He's blind, and they gave him like a technological prosthesis, I guess, to see in amazing ways. Yeah, and he's the guy that fixes everything on the Starship Enterprise. He's the smart one. There's even an episode where he gets kidnapped by some not so smart extraterrestrials, and they hold him hostage and make him figure things out for them because that's a whole nother video. But yeah, but you know who Geordi LaForge is, the actor LeVar Burton, who I first saw in Roots when I was a youngster. Much love, LeVar, if you're watching. You're amazing. I'm going to give you a shout out video. I'm a fan. But there's a movie where LeVar Burton's character is told by a white guy, villain, that he's not normal because he doesn't see with his eyes the way most people do. And he rubs it in. He's cruel about it, the way a MAGA would be cruel. And this villain says to Geordi, "What's it like not being normal?" Some asshole-ish thing like that. And Geordi LaForge says, "What's normal?" And the villain looks right at him and says, "Normal is what everyone else is, and you are not." I can relate, Geordi. That's what I get. Apparently I'm not normal either. Yeah. All right, everybody. Much love. God bless America. I hope somebody is getting something out of these videos. If nothing else, I hope you're just getting out of it that I'm human, as far as you know. What are you so scared of? If you look at those tens of thousands of hateful comments I get, it's pretty clear what little Miss Transphobic Karen that I met today meant by her rights. You know what the rights of my self-declared enemies are? It's when they talk about rights, they don't mean civil rights, they don't mean human rights like the way I do when I mention the word rights. No, my self-declared enemies, the transphobic MAGA trash, who specialize in cruelty and sadism. They're always telling me they don't want me in public. They want me either in prison. They want me, people like me, to be kept in full-time snake pit mental hospitals, which no longer exist because an asshole Republican ruined it, Ronald Reagan. That's another video I'm going to make. So we don't really have anywhere to put the crazies, which is why Vegas looks the way it does. And why scared old men wear guns on their hips when they ride the bus. Because they're scared. And guess who voted to turn all the crazies loose on the street under President Reagan? Probably that same guy. All those years ago voted for that. Funny, huh? So yeah, the haters, they want me, people like young Miss Karen today, they want me to be out of sight of the public. They don't want their children to know that some boys would rather be a girl. They don't want to know that I might be sitting down to pee in the next stall, just like they are. These are her rights. These are Karen's transphobic MAGA rights. Keep the trans out of my sight. Keep the trans out of the sight of my children. Keep the trans out of the sight of everybody because nobody wants to see them. Put them in mental hospitals. Put them in fucking alligator Alcatraz. Banish them. Deport them. Who gives a flying fuck? Get rid of them. We're tired of looking at them. That's what I get when she said, "I have rights too." Those are her rights that she's talking about. Not human rights, not civil rights. And because I'm a better person, I looked at her and I said, "I care about your rights. I'm just trying to stand up for mine too. What's your name?" "My name's Tiffany." And then you know what happened. That's what we're up against, guys. I have a lot of fear that this culture war is sliding into something much worse. We got to come back from this, guys. We have to. Don't let this happen. No good will come of it. I'm a transgender woman, and I'm human too. I'm just a person trying to live her life. I got born in the wrong body, and I'm trying to do what I can to make this one better for me to have to live in. How is it hurting you or your children or anybody else? What the fuck? What the fuck? And I'm sure she goes to church. So I shall continue to walk it like my self-described enemies talk it. I'm the one that's out in public, loving people, being a truth teller, and standing up for my rights, which are being destroyed by people like her, because that's what they voted for. I'm not going to disappear. I don't want my friends and coworkers to say 20 years from now, yeah, they're all gone now. We don't have to see them anymore. They don't exist in society anymore. But I met a trans once, back in like the 2020s. She was a good person. She wasn't doing anything wrong. Don't say it too loud. Because once we're gone, they're not going to want to be reminded that we ever existed. I will not let Donald J. Trump disappear me from American society. I will not let him or anybody else strip away my goddamned human rights. Especially since I did serve this country as best I was able to, as best I could, which is more than Trump ever did. God bless America. Much love. Meow. If you think the world's a better place with me in it, give me some love in the comments. Join me. Let's fight the fight. We're going to fight this good fight together. And I'll tell you something. I have already said this already, and I'm going to keep saying it. Renee Good's last words were, "It's okay, I'm not mad at you." George Floyd couldn't breathe. And I'm not going to let Tiffany Walker's last words be, "Don't call me sir." And if you are one of my haters, if you're on the fence, which I hope you are by now if you're watching me, and I hope I'm getting through to you, ask yourself, and I'm talking to MAGA right now, I'm talking to Karen right now, I'm talking to Chad right now, what makes you think ICE isn't going to come for you someday? And when they do, your last words are going to be, "I'm one of the good ones. I voted for Trump." They don't care. I met a Cuban guy the other day saying, "But we're the good immigrants. I didn't think he would come after us." So yeah, maybe your last words are going to be, "But I'm MAGA. I voted for Trump. Why are you arresting me?" And then you'll know what it feels like. But of course, it'll be too late by then. All right.